Welcome to SPSS, PSY 3840, and I'm Professor Coolidge. And let's go to our assignments. And we're up to Unit 3, Central Tendency and Variation. And we are going to learn how to generate measurements of central tendency and variation, or dispersion as SPSS calls it. And we're going to use this schizoid Asperger's control .sav data set. And what we're going to do here is learn how to generate these descriptive statistics in SPSS for their measures of central tendency and variation, which I said they call dispersion. We're going to learn how to ask for the mean, median, mode, how to interpret the standard deviation, variance, and a range for a variable in a data set. And if we have a little time, we'll go look at about something with eel breeding, and actually has to do with variation in types of eels and the standard deviation, which is actually an important topic. So let us go to our data set right here and choose the schizoid Asperger's control data set. And here's our data set. We'll go to Analyze, back to Descriptive Statistics, and straight over to Frequencies. The default was the first one, and we'll play with age. We'll hit age. And we'll look at our statistics here. And here's our three measures of central tendency. We're going to have the mean, the median, and the mode. We won't concern ourselves with the sum. Here's dispersion, which most books call variation. And we've got our standard deviation, our variance. Now these two are intimately related. If we square the value of the standard deviation, we'll have variance. If we took the square root of the variance, we would have standard deviation. The range is a single score, and it's obtained by taking the minimum score, the lowest age in other words, and the maximum score, the highest age, subtract these two, and it gives you this value of the range. Let's hit continue. And now we'll go ahead and hit OK, because we've chosen everything we needed to do. And if we look down here, we'll see that here's our mean age is 8.75 years. The median is 8. If this was a perfectly normal distribution, which we knew it wasn't from our previous lesson, these two would be exactly the same. This mean's a little higher than the median. Remember, the median is a score where half of the scores are below that score and half are above it. So this mean being higher than the median means that there's probably a positive skew to the distribution, which we knew. The mode score here is age 4 has the highest frequency. And if we look down here in our frequency distribution, we can see the highest frequency indeed. We've got 8 here, but the highest single frequency is 9. So this is saying that the highest frequency occurs for the age of 4 years old. Standard deviation is 4.2. This is something on the order of saying that most of the scores, at least about 2/3 of them, if we took the mean plus this value, which would give us about 12.9 years old, or we subtracted this value from the mean, in other words, the mean plus or minus 1 standard deviation would account for about 2/3 of all the scores. That means between the ages of about 4 and the ages of about 12, we've got about 2/3 of our entire distribution. Notice if we square this value, 4.2, we'll get the value of the variance, 17.6. Here's our range. Notice how useless the range score is, because it doesn't tell you what the minimum and maximum. But notice if you subtract the minimum score, minimum age, from the maximum age, you'll get the range value. So most people do report a form of the range, and that is they report the minimum and maximum score. Now this is also useful when you ask for minimum and maximum. If you saw this was maximum 46, and this is a sample of children, then you knew that you couldn't have a maximum score of 46. So somewhere somebody entered the wrong data. Of course, we'd see that in the frequency distribution, where you'd see a 46 here and you'd see a 1. You might have a 33. Instead of entering 3, they had 33. So this minimum and maximum is kind of useful. It does help us find outliers, but it also helps us find clinkers, where you can't be in the sample if you're 33 years old. And that is our lesson for today.